All right, so I want to talk about, right now is how um, in America the system has used the black woman against the black family. And this is just one instance, right? It's the education system. The education system is set up to divide us. I talked about, in a couple episodes back about how Europeans, how they see things as they divide. It's a division, right? Like food. It's, poultry, vegetables, dairy, seafood. They categorize it. We see it, as original people without their influence and their, living under their dominating colonies. We see things as one. This is all one. We are all one. Our babies, our community is one, right? So there's no individualism, no I, right? It's always we, right? And so what happened is the society now has individualized everybody, right? So there's it's the me mentality. Even when we see, like the black ghetto cats arguing and not even ghetto cats, people, arguing over kids, it's like that's my child, and before it was, there was a saying, it takes a village to raise a child, right? Because it was community based.
We got in trouble when we started imitating white folks. When we decided we wanted to be just like Father Knows Best. We wanted to have us a nuclear family. Don't you put your hand on my child. What you mean, your child? This child has a need. This is our child. This child is in trouble. This is our child. This child has the need to be educated. This is our child. And as long as we thought that way, we were all right. But when it became mine, and when you begin to pull back into these little insulated enclaves locked up in your apartment with your own biological kin, then you started developing some real problems. Because when we were a community, there was no such thing as father absence. Because as long as there was a man anywhere, there was a father around somewhere. As long as there was. No such thing as orphans. Children were always absorbed back into the community, because even if mama and biological daddy died, somebody had a love for those children, would bring those children in, and they'd be a part of the community.
Right? So when I go outside, and if my mom's is not, she going, work or handling business or whatever, and I'm doing wrong, my neighbor is gonna say, yo, you bugging, stop it. You know what I'm saying? And that's gone now, because everybody is individual. Everybody going to their own house. Back in the days, we used to be outside playing, and you know what I mean? Like, it'd be maybe 30, 40 kids on the block outside. You know what I mean? It's like I said, like back in the days, the girls would do drill teams. So you'd have maybe like 80 kids on the side of the block. You know what I mean? And when they do practicing their drill team, we'd be sitting. And then it's like, and if we wasn't on the street, we was in somebody's backyard, throwing the ball, playing basketball. You know what I mean? And then like with the hip hop, you know what I mean? Like, I've had DJ equipment as far as I can remember, but at least at least 12 years old. It might be a little bit earlier than that, but I've been DJing since I was, at least 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? So, so now we got ciphers. We all listening to music together. And we all, most of us had the same, we all love the same rappers. You know what I mean? KRS, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap. You know what I mean? So it was like, now people don't even listen to music together anymore. You know what I mean? Like before, unless you're in a car, you know what I mean? But like most of the time that people listen, they listen to the music by themselves. You know what I mean? And that hip hop was based on people coming to the park to listen to the music. And like I said, DJ Cheese and myself, we were doing hip hop in Plainfield. I mean, he was doing it before me, you know what I mean? But once we linked up, like, we were doing it all over the place, and you know what I mean, taking, taking speakers, records, record players, renting out a spot, putting it in there, setting up something out the door, and having somebody taking the money. You know what I mean? And how we would get the people there, we'd go print up some flyers, the papers 5 by 11. Sometimes we cut them in 4s. And we'd go to high schools and pass them out 3 weeks before the event. You know what I mean? And we did this, you know what I mean? Cycle. So it was about, getting a whole bunch of people together and listening to the hottest rap records. You know what I mean? And we go, we go to South Jersey, Red Bank, all of these places, and do the same thing. You know what I mean? And Jeezy had the hottest record, one of the hottest records, King Cut. You know what I mean? So, but it's like, I ain't gonna front. He didn't even play his own, what I mean? It was like, he was playing like the latest, hottest joints. You know what I mean? But like my biggest like memories was like when South Bronx came on by KRS. You know what I mean? And like the whole crew would be like, Plainfield. You know what I mean? So, it was crazy. It was beautiful. Now it was, nobody ever got shot at any of our parties. No fights got shut down because we had security. You know what I mean? The whole that. Now, like, these guys, like, getting killed. Like, like, I think Scott Rock was the first, person in hip-hop. Like, because he was KRS DJ and producer. He was the first, murderer in hip-hop. But, 96, 97, that's when, like, the real hip-hop died. After Biggie and Tupac died, right? Then it was like, everybody after that was controllable. Before 96 and 97, we controlled hip-hop. I mean, the banks controlled it to a certain extent, but hip-hop was mostly independent labels. So they didn't even understand hip-hop. They were just like, okay, we're going to give you some money, go into the studio, and then the white boy is going to record everything and do everything you need to do, but you just tell him what you need done, and we're going to mix it, we're going to package it, and we're going to put it out through the distribution. And that was, how the game was. But as it got to the majors, and the formulas were understood by the Europeans, now they wanted to start taking control of the subject matter. So now, by the 90s, like early 90s, it started becoming negative, right? No disrespect to NWA and the West Coast and Dr. Dre and all of that, but that's when, like, a negative lifestyle was presented, right? A negative lifestyle, meaning they introduced gang banging life. Before, like, when it was in New York, it was Islam, 5%ers or street smart guys, but most of the dudes had knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? And if they didn't have no knowledge of self, they knew somebody who had knowledge of self. You know what I mean? And the knowledge reigned supreme. KRS-One, right? KRS-One, the hottest rapper, his name was Knowledge Reigned Supreme. You know what I mean? Now these dudes is little this and, you know what I mean, baby that. Like, they don't want to be men. They just want to be children. My generation, we wanted to be men. We wanted to, get a crib, rent it out. You know what I mean? Because we weren't even thinking about buying a house at that time. You know what I mean? But anyway, Dr. Dre and them introduced the gangster lifestyle. And then around 92, 93, 94, Puff introduces the middle class lifestyle. You know what I mean? Popping Mo, Versace, Italian designers. Cause we would wear, we would wear certain things before that, but it was more masculine. And it wasn't even a lifestyle of like drinking champagne. You know what I mean? Like we drink like Moet on special occasions, chilling with the chicks or something just to blow their mind. But we were drinking, sipping liquor. You know what I mean? I've never really been a drinker because my grandfather, was an alcoholic, and my mom used to always tell us stories. So I never really liked liquor. You know what I mean? Like I always like to be in control. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it was Puff and Dre introduced the negative lifestyle that they were promoting, right? Because before, if you got
P Funk City G.